Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And we had two playing games yesterday. Let's talk about the Eastern Conference one that saw the Atlanta Hawks surprise the Miami Heat. No one was really picking the Hawks to win, but they did. They are the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. They will take on the Boston Celtics, who didn't really miss a beat. The 57 and 25. No Ime Adoka, no problem. Joe Mazzelli took over and still earned this second seat in the Eastern Conference. Meanwhile, the Hawks finished 41 and 41. We're pretty much 500, one game under 500, one game over 500 the whole season. Pretty much the definition of an average team. Actually changed coaches. Quinn Snyder, former Jazz head coach, is the current Hawks head coach. They have gone 10 and 11 now, if you want to call it, consider a playing game. 11 and 11 with Snyder at the helm. DraftKings Sportsbooks has the Celtics as a huge favorite, minus 1,000. So out of the 6 series that we know about, they are the biggest favorite, even over the 76ers, who are minus 900. So definitely Las Vegas believes that this will be a pretty cut and dry series. We know who they believe that the Celtics should easily win. Hawks have their dynamic backcourt of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, but the Celtics, they're definitely a team that can handle that with defensive stalwarts. Marcus Smart, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, maybe took a slight step back this season on defense, but still one of the best defensive backcourt members the NBA has. And Derek White, but of course, their dynamic duo, who will stop them on the Hawks? Jason Tatum, who became the first Celtic to average 30 points per game in a season, and Jaylen Brown. Figure Tatum should be first team All NBA. Brown has a chance at third team All NBA, we'll see. And then Big Al Horford, the fifth starter. What a season it's been for Al. He's 36, I believe, 36 years old. Yes, 36 years old, turns 37 in June. One of the most accurate three-point shooters in the game this season at 44.6%. Hawks, meanwhile, as I mentioned, their backcourt of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. Trae Young isn't going to provide much on defense. Offensive, yes, he is almost an offensive savant, but wasn't super accurate from deep this year, basically hitting on just one of three attempts. John Collins. John Collins looked like that guy who could possibly be a perennial all-star later in his career, but man, his role just continues to dwindle. Pretty much career lows other than his rookie season across the board. DeAndre Hunter hasn't quite taken that next step forward to being, like let's say an 18 point per game scorer. And Clint Capella, great rebounder and a solid 1-2 punch with Onyeka on, what's his name? Onyeka Okongwu. Definitely a good 1-2 punch at center. They do have some punch off the bench, not just a Kongwu, but they did acquire Sadiq Bey from the Detroit Pistons. He shot 40% from deep since coming to Atlanta. And then they have Bogdan Bogdanovic, again, one of the better scorers off the bench. So they got three reliable guys off the bench. AJ Griffin to a lesser extent. The Celtics have probably the sixth man of the year favorite, Malcolm Brogdon. It's between really him and Emmanuel quickly. From the results I've seen, looks like Brogdon's going to get that award. But otherwise, Robert Williams, who hasn't quite been the force he was last season since returning from injury, but still a great defensive player. Sam Hauser, a guy who shot well over 40% from three. Again, with the playoffs, sometimes the depth chart gets shrunk where less people play. The rotation, that was the word I was looking for. Rotation shrinks. We'll see if guys such as Mike Muscala, Blake Griffin, Peyton Pritchard, we'll see which of those guys play. And actually, I didn't mention Grant Williams. Grant Williams definitely another solid bench piece for Boston, but again, just too much firepower, too much Tatum and Brown. Hawks don't really have guys that can slow them down. I mean, DeAndre Hunter's a good defender, but he's not going to slow him down too much. Um, just looks like a total mismatch on paper. A series that potentially could be a sweep. I won't go that far. I will say the Boston Celtics in five, but of course, a sweep would not surprise me. Definitely a surprise that the Hawks were able to beat the Heat to become that seven seed. But Celtics just a much better team. Hawks have dwindled in mediocrity throughout the year, and Celtics just have too much firepower in Tatum and Brown. But let me know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win the series? How many games? How far do you think the Celtics can go? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications.